Triple H is
Triple H for your WavyOcho. For damn, I forgot my say my intro. But today I'm gonna react to Triple H. First year has been, you know,
finally taking control of WWE. Of course, this is a bit skewy. He's not 100% in control, and a conspiracy since the first day was that Vince was completely in control still. Do I believe this? No, but we don't need much evidence to see that he's somewhat back. It's just that he hasn't taken complete control. Otherwise, the vibe of the show
he should take complete control, bro. He should, bro. He's smart, bro. He has a smart mind for the wrestling business, bro. Vince McMahon lost it, bro. He just lost it, right? He lost it, you know. He's out of touch, bro. He don't got the same like he just don't got it no more. Vince McMahon just don't got it no more, like no more. You are.
would be completely
different. The game took booking duties almost 1 year to the day, and he immediately made sure to let everyone know that things are changing. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. Triple H taking control of WWE doesn't mean that it's a stark contrast to Vince's booking. On paper, things are mostly the same. The big difference is the coherence and pacing of stories. Things play out more nowadays and in turn lead to more satisfying outcomes. Triple H also has a big interest in heel champions. WWE is filled with heel champions at the moment. This is something you don't see often with Vince, and to me, I see this as a negative because there's less parity. The game used to do this in NXT, have the heel champion go on long title reigns. But that's just a big noticeable difference that I noticed while watching Triple H's WWE compared to Vince's. Now, I'm just talking about stuff here about how Triple H is different to Vince. We can't really go into detail with the stories because I don't think it makes sense, especially for this type of video. That said, let's get into it. Ever since the game took control of WWE, the matches have more to them. The wrestlers are given more freedom to construct a better match, and I'm not going to over-exaggerate things. Beforehand with Vince, the matches were already good, but more time with Triple H allows for both wrestlers to prosper. He also went further with the tag team wrestling, which was already prioritized with RK Bro and the Usos. WWE wasn't really known for strong tag team action. That's a different story now. Hell, a tag team match with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Usos made event to the first night of WrestleMania. It's a bit tied into the Bloodline story, but still, it goes to show that things have changed. The pacing of the shows are mostly the same with some little touches. Sometimes the show starts with a brawl, a cold open that tries to drag you in, and these were more appealing in his first months. He tried to do something to get your attention, like Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins' sit down, and it's a fresh change which allows for things to feel more open than
Matt Riddle was cursing do this on promo, bro, to the exchange between him and Seth Rollins, though. But and Matt Morris, Matt, did I say Matt Morris? Matt Riddle, my fault. Like he was cursing through like during this exchange. He was that ass too. He was that serious.
they are. The first few months had a significant sense of optimism that hadn't been seen in WWE in years. I remember a lot of people were hyped, not entirely because Triple H is some GOAT tier booker, but because of how redundant the product was under Vince. It'll be funny if this ends up being a placebo effect, but there was for sure a different touch about the shows. Every once in a while, a strange segment happens and people are like, that's Vince. And it could be him, but it could also be Triple H who misses on that one. We don't know. Weird finishes still happen, which I don't think is ever going to change. It's a staple of wrestling. Heel distraction, roll up, that kind of stuff. The commentary is more loose and free, which works well, especially for somebody like Michael Cole. This man was stuck at 82 overall because the boss called for it, and very rarely would he have a classic call. Nowadays, it's very different. The sentiment towards Michael Cole is a positive one. Not because he makes random mentions of Ring of Honor or some old character of wrestlers, but because he's less monotonous. That is no word, right? He's less of the same that the audience was used to. Early on, the comedy on the shows wasn't really around. I kind of dislike this because as goofy and corny as some of the stuff they put out, sometimes it would hit, and completely shutting off that aspect of the show was odd to me. Like, why does everything gotta be serious? That's of course changed since then, and I personally welcome it. Triple H is not afraid of letting go of certain characters, even people that he actually brought back himself. If they're not working, he changes course. It shows adaptation and self-awareness. One of the things Triple H had to take a deep look at was returns. Returns are a strong tool of wrestling, especially if
Braun Strowman was back. He came back, and I think he's injured right now, bro. But I always like look that Braun Strowman is a really good wrestler. He improved after he part ways with the Wyatt family. He improved. He dead ass improved. I think he lost some weight. Got in shape. He got. He's an athlete, bro. Braun Strowman's an athlete. He could move for a guy his size, bro, and his height, bro. He's a really good wrestler. He improved to be a good wrestler. I ain't gonna lie.
not leaked. This is well known, and Triple H took advantage of this, bringing back a huge amount of wrestlers that were released. Dakota Kai, Io Shirai, Karrion Kross, and of course Bray Wyatt. A lot of these returns hit at first, but as time went on, most of these talent didn't prosper. It also led to some calling Triple H a return merchant, having a reliance on returns. And it was a big problem because, yes, the roster was light, but by the point Triple H was well in control, it was too much. Some of it is out of his hands, and sometimes he expected more from the talent brought back. Factions are much more valued nowadays. Back in the Attitude Era, there was plenty of game wars, and it's a strange decision to move away from that because WWE could have padded out shows with somebody like John Cena or Batista going through members before getting to the leader. They actually do that now, going through his guys Kaiser and Vinci do his dirty work before he finally comes in. The Judgment Day is one of the most interesting things going on now. The Bloodline, of course, is number one, and their story is the biggest in wrestling. This is the era of factions, and I'm glad that Triple
Gonna take that title because it all started with Jey Uso. The story started with Jey Uso.
Triple H decided, you know what, we got to implement more of this because he saw the success of the Bloodline and it worked out well. The biggest debt, though, in Triple H's booking for me is the women's division. This is the one thing he can't crack and overcome. I'd even go as far as to say that they were doing better under Vince for the last couple of years. This is a very ironic take because Triple H played a strong role in shaping up this era of the women's division with NXT. Sasha Banks and Charlotte, these women were doing some amazing work under the game, yet taking control on the main roster, he hasn't found the right touch because in my mind, the women's division in the past year has been mostly nonsense. Some of the matches hit hard, but the stories and payoff left a lot to be desired, and it's clear that as prominent as they are, there's not enough attention and effort. Rhea Ripley's title reign has been pretty forgettable as a championship reign. The only reason it stands out is because of the Judgment Day stuff, and the best stuff in Triple H's run doesn't really involve the woman. Match-wise, there's a couple, but the feuds and stories don't really have something special about them. It's the biggest problem because he's already shown the capability to put on great feuds. The women's tag team division is so redundant and one of the most useless things on the show because those titles have been passed on more than a dollar bill. The women's tag team titles is probably the worst booked thing in the entire WWE. It's so bad, it doesn't seem like it's changing anytime soon. But yeah, the game has some bizarre decisions. You know, the Austin Theory Money in the Bank thing comes to mind. Austin Theory himself hasn't been booked the best. Now, I already made mention of this, but Vince still has input into the stories. It changes things, of course, because Triple H's early days booking had a noticeable identity. Not a bit mixed, but it's Triple H's vision. The reason why I mention this is because of the stories Triple H was handed from Vince. The Bloodline and Judgment Day. There's no denying that these are two of the hottest stories in WWE right now. Before Triple H took over, these stories were already set up for him well. The Judgment Day had Finn go unbeaten for a couple of weeks, and the Bloodline had the Sami Zayn element. He took these stories to greater heights, which again, we can't say what Vince or Triple H himself suggests. One thing for certain, though, is the fact that under the game, we got to see Sami Zayn become a great hero and finally realize what the Bloodline is all about. Dominic developing the character and turning into one of the most hated heels in the industry, and things could have been different. Maybe Dom doesn't get to this point. Maybe Sammy's kicked out very early on, leading to a change in the entire story, because his inclusion serves as a catalyst to the demise of the Bloodline. Overall, Triple H isn't far too different from Vince. He's been under his wing for decades at this point, and naturally he's going to take up a lot of his thoughts. NXT was booked to be for the alternative wrestling fan. The game knows that the main roster is an entirely different animal and adaptation is key. Hence, there not being much of a change product-wise. It's mostly the fact that things are more coherent and logical. One personal problem with Triple H so far is the fact that there's not much that stands out. What I mean is there's not much risks being taken, and to be honest, there's not much of a reason to do so. Because at the end of the day, WWE is all about making cash and not breaking records at this point. But as a viewer, it kind of hurts the experience of watching the shows. Pay-per-views, though, there's absolutely no problem with how they go. I've enjoyed them since the COVID days, and under Triple H, they're even better. But the shows have this repetitiveness to them, and in Raw's case, it's a struggle to solve this. But as a booker, Triple H has been solid. I like things more under him because the stories connect and complete. Matches are better. Some of the undercard talent is being pushed much more, such as Ricochet. The pay-per-views feel bigger and much more interesting, although that might be a company decision. Going international helps WWE's reach more, and for us fans, it makes the shows much more exciting and grander than they were. So that's Triple H's first year. We can't really judge him very fairly, I feel. It's not me shilling for him or anything like that. It's just we heard about Vince having a level of influence. We can't say what's completely his and what completely isn't his, but we can see a bit of it. We can see a bit of what Triple H has planned, what he's doing. The stories are more coherent. So I thought it was decent, you know. I don't think it's like an amazing change. Otherwise, I'd be watching Raw and SmackDown every week. It's just at the end of the day, Triple H's minor touches, the fact that he makes the stories more coherent, stuff follows up, that's what makes him much better. So yeah. All right, what did you guys think of Triple H's first year? Please comment down below.
Favorite match under the Triple H era, bro? while Triple H was being the booker behind the scenes, bro? What was your favorite match, bro? Or what was your favorite like promo segment, whatever, bro? Tell me down in the comment section, bro. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. We're just checking out you are.